Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Tavern and the Netflix Cup.
The Netflix Cup, yes.
I'm here on time.
And Dave is here on time.
And you're clear, which is
Yeah,
even
we
better.
can see you.
And we can see you're not pixelated.
Yeah.
You don't look like you. For those of you out there watching the Netflix Cup, like we are, we do have it on. Tony Finau's about to hit his approach shot into 7.
He's got about 600 yards. He's going to use
Greg, you and I have watched this from the beginning tonight. What's in your opinion of it?
I like it. It's better than I expected.
Yep.
I like the synergy they're using with promoting their Netflix shows and their Netflix comedians.
I feel like it's like an ABC made-for-TV special where they filmed it at Disney World.
100%. It's exactly like the holiday specials or anything they used to film, where it's like you have Full House going to Disney World. Like, it's exactly like that.
Speaking of that, they filmed the holiday parade yesterday.
They did.
They did.
It is what I would have hoped the match could have been, and I feel they took all of the good aspects of the match. The only thing that I think this is lacking is their broadcast team that's not like celebrities. I feel
their broadcast team is like, okay, let's be real. Joel Damon is amazing.
But I feel like
Bert Kirshner's great. Bert Kirshner's been great. What's his name?
Marshawn Lynch.
Marshawn Beast Mode has been amazing. Like
they all have.
Yeah.
Except for the host. And
the host
terrible.
Yeah.
And their
feels like it's their first time.
Awful. Yep. I feel like they could have given us microphones and been better hosts though.
It would have been interesting. I think that would have been fun for us to be out there. But also, I think it's that meshing with the group that they have out there. I think Bert Kreischer's comedic style fits in perfectly to what they're trying to do here, and with the synergy, like I said. Beast Mode is just it. Like I said to you guys earlier.
I'll go stand next to Beast Mode with a cigar, and we'll go both smoke cigars and just comment. Like it'll be great.
It looks
I don't know if his is fully a cigar.
Well, that's a good point. But I also think like it feels like he just walked up, was like, "Give me a mic," and just started talking. Like it was planned, he was supposed to be here, but it feels like he just is like, "I'm gonna do what I want." It's kind of like when he stole a golf cart when he was at Cal.
Yes.
Like it feels like the fun that was, which I like.
Yes.
And it's not taking itself too seriously. The the actual gameplay is fun but serious, but it's not like trying to be a major. It's not trying to be this amazing. They know what this is, and they're having fun, and that's what makes this enjoyable to watch.
The scramble format has been great, especially for the F1 drivers who aren't used to this.
Or as Joel Damon has said, every hole, it's very nice to have a professional golfer on your team.
Like we needed Brad to come up. Like I wish we knew what Joel Damon was going to say, because we could have really come up with the drinking game for this thing tonight. 100%. Brad, it's disappointing that we haven't done the drinking game tonight for this. So that in itself is disappointing that we didn't know about a drinking game for this. But no, it's been the win in Vegas. Obviously, it's a great golf course, great location. Oh, and the winner tonight is the Sphere.
Oh, the Sphere is winning.
And
that needs to be like I said. I go. They need to like kind of plan this out where like if you're playing this course on a hole that faces you need to have a chip in your golf ball, so when you hit, like the Sphere reacts to your shot, like the giant emoji makes a face at where you're shooting. That would be amazing.
You hit a bad one and a poop emoji pops up.
Exactly. Like you could have so much fun with this.
The Sphere laughs at you.
Yes.
Yeah. Like it senses where it is. I mean, we have the technology probably to do this, that I think it would be just a lot of fun. But that's what this has been. It's been a fun thing to watch. I hope they do it again once a year, maybe. I feel this rivals the match. I feel it's almost better than the match.
Yeah, there's a lot they can improve upon, but I really feel like this has been a fun. And again, 9 holes. They're gonna have a playoff here in a minute. But yeah, no, it's been fun to watch. It's been fun to watch the players interact. I did like the first hole. Dave, you missed this. They did a speed hole, and whoever finished first got basically won the tiebreaker.
Oh, okay.
And they had the lights, the starting lights for F1. You had to drive your golf cart in the lane up to the hole, and everyone teed off at the same time. I almost wanted to show the picture of ours at Harbor Town where we teed off all at the same time, because they officially stole that from us. I'm just saying.
Oh my God, this needs to be wow! Shots fired across the bow by Mr. Schubert.
Yes, Brad,
Wow.
I do. I have. It's called the giant dome of Steve's head that laughs at me.
Greg's head's bigger than mine.
My head is enormous.
Yeah, Greg's head is covered by more hair, though.
That is also true. I need a haircut. My hair. If I take this hat off, I'm going to look like Sideshow Bob. If I take this hat off right now. So
all right. So
I will say, this is. Yeah. I am saying I hope they continue this. They did it right. They didn't do it perfect, but it's good enough.
It's better than some other formats.
To be honest, if they could redo this format, like the fun of this format, incorporate Tiger and Phil and them just betting against each other the whole time, and have Marshawn Lynch walk the course with them, that's
with Charles Barkley.
And Charles Barkley in the booth with Joel Damon.
Yes.
Come on.
Now, let's. I mean, we talked this before. I feel like with Joel Damon, as good as Damon is, and as good as we know John Rahm is, can we get an event that they're both not going to peg it up in and get them in the booth to do play-by-play and color commentary, even if it's just on the Golf Channel? Or hell, I'd pay per view that one. I would even pay for that.
Yeah,
I think real about it.
It would be fun because you're going to have more of the serious commentator from Rahm, but you're going to have that lighthearted.
I need another vodka tonic over here from Joel Damon.
Like, yeah, Joel. I mean, he was just picking on JT, and JT was giving it right back to him, and that was just fun to watch. Like, it's that's what made this. You kind of see into the life of like how the players interact with each other more in this than you see on a regular event, which is kind of cool.
This is a Tuesday, Wednesday pro-am here.
Even better.
Yeah.
It is, but it is basically that format. So
yeah.
All right. I think it's time for first round. All right. Hey, did we call it last week?
Man, I posted that video Sunday night. I cut that video segment out of you and I talking about Camilo Villegas winning, and I have to say, I haven't been more excited to see somebody win. And somebody posted on Facebook that follows me that it was a boring leaderboard, and my only response was, "What, for the best story of the year in golf?" Like,
well, it's like we all tried to will Ricky last year, and it happened. I know I was having some technical difficulties last week. Yeah, Brad, that's a drink. But I went back and I watched, what you guys were talking about, and it's just he's come so far from that Spider-Man pose of a putter, like Greg pointed out, and that's what he was known for. But to take the break that he did and come back and win in that fashion,
he had no status. He has no status on tour. So he now has status for next year.
Yeah.
Like,
and it was an amazing run that that he had, in that championship. And, hats off to him. Winning a golf tournament at no matter what level is not easy.
Yeah.
And after 9 years since your last one on tour, did you still remember how to win? Like, you gotta ask that question. Like, winning ain't easy anyway on the PGA Tour.
No.
These people that think it is, we all got lulled because Tiger made it look easy. But winning's not easy on the PGA Tour. Winning's not easy on the PGA Tour. It's just not.
Well, and Steve, I want to go to that comment that you're talking about there, because here's the thing. What do you expect? Like, if you expect this excitement week to week to be like what this Netflix Cup is, then maybe that's what you want to watch. But it's what makes golf exciting is the stories, is these people that come from behind, is that people winning. It's not like I don't want to see a blowout each week. I want to see something that's fun.
Well, and here's the other
if I
thing.
don't, I want a storyline.
The guy that put it up there is a huge LIV proponent and thinks that LIV is the only golf you should be watching. My question to him was, what do you want? You had two major winners on the leaderboard. You had a great event. You had the best story of the year outside of, between Camilo Villegas and then Chris Kirk winning and coming back from alcoholism and depression to winning at Honda this year. Like, those two are the best two storylines of the year, outside of maybe and throw Brian Harmon in winning at the Open Championship for number 3. Like, you can't sit there and say, oh, well, you're not going to have, with as many events as they have, the only thing, and I will say this, the only thing that LIV does great with their 14 events and having them spaced out that way, everybody's got to show up. And because everybody can show up, like, it makes it so that you have the same guys in the field every week. But when you have as many events as they have on the PGA Tour, and the players can pick and choose, and they only have to play 14 of them, you know what? I'm going to give a guy like Adam Scott a lot of credit in showing back up and playing last week, because he didn't need to go to Bermuda. Lucas Glover had no business being in Bermuda, other than he said he wanted to play and get a couple of reps in before going to Hawaii, because he's going to Hawaii again. So if you're going to do that, and you're going to say, you know what, I'm going to take a couple of reps, and he's playing this week again too at the RSM. Lucas is from South Carolina, so playing the RSM is kind of a home game for him. And let's be real, if I'm going to go to the RSM, that also means I can have Southern Soul Barbecue, which is the best barbecue I've ever eaten. It's ridiculous. I thought, funny enough, on the way back from the Masters, I thought about stopping and getting it to go on the way back and eating it in the car. It's that good. But no, they, if you can go and do, you go out to Bermuda, which is an event that nobody really has played in anyway. You have two. Hold
on. I got to stop this because I'm watching the Netflix Cup here, and this might be the greatest thing I've ever seen in a tournament.
He has a varsity jacket on.
The dude has a varsity jacket, has a cigarette in his hand, and is holding a drink. And he's making the call here. I'm sorry, I needed to stop for this because this is amazing.
Who is this?
Oh, he's got a pen. No, he doesn't have a drink. He does. It's a pen and a paper. But it looked like when he walked up with a varsity jacket and that haircut. I was like, this is. I wish he had a drink in his hand, but it is, and Dice is their seats here. I'm sorry, I had to interrupt for that because this is just fun to watch. In the background. But back to your point there. It's, what do you want from an event? These are amazing outcomes.
Here's my other with the 14 events that LIV has had. You didn't have great TV presence.
Mm-mm.
And you had 14 events that you really never gained momentum. Like, when you talk about it, were you going to rush out and watch Bermuda? No, it probably wasn't at the top of your radar to watch all weekend. There was some good college football and some good NFL on all weekend. But were you really going to rush out to watch Bermuda? I mean, if you've played the golf course, you might watch. But other than that, I wasn't rushing out to watch it. Camilo Villegas made me want to pay attention, though, to what was going on to see if he could get a win. And that's all that I feel like the PGA Tour can ask for in that.
Can I just say that, did LIV ruin David Faraday? Because I feel like David Faraday was riding high, and then he went to LIV, and now insignificant. I miss him.
It's William Dafoe in a varsity jacket. I love it.
It does kind of look like him.
I just don't. Here's the thing with Faraday. I always wanted Faraday to be the guy that, when somebody hit one from bunker to bunker, yelled Bin Laden. Just for me, just for my laughter factor on that one.
I think you have a better chance with Joel Damon doing it.
Yeah.
You know what? You're right about that. But I don't know. And again, do you really Faraday being on LIV again? if a tree falls in the woods and nobody sees it, did it make a sound?
But even when I've watched, like it doesn't sound like great broadcasting over there either, and it's not exciting to watch.
Well, they'll tell you it's the proponents of it will tell you it's the most exciting thing on TV.
But I mean, we're watching this, and this is exciting, and we're even saying some of the announcers aren't that great, and some of them are just having fun. Like you had
still
David
better
Faraday
than
coming over there. It should have been better.
It's still better than Joe Buck calling the Open.
It's better than Joe Buck calling anything. Let's just be honest.
Hey, Brad, we need to add any Joe Buck references on here to the drinking game, because that is always worthy of a drink, because you need you need more to stomach those comments.
One of the funniest things I have ever been witness to live was when the Cubs clinched to make the World Series, and they brought in the national broadcast into the stadium, and Joe Buck started speaking. Hearing a whole stadium just start booing.
I mean, is it well? One though, I mean, his dad was the announcer for the Cardinals. I mean, he's a Cardinals guy. I mean, he's a Cardinals guy. You're in Chicago, but yeah, no, like let's move on from baseball and Joe Buck. Thank heavens he's only doing football, and it's on Monday nights now.
Yeah.
But congratulations to Camilo. That was
yes,
that's amazing win.
Yes. We're coming to Seaside. It's Seaside and the Plantation at Sea Island this weekend at the Cloister. Sorry, Brad. Just I'm going to preface this drink. I have played Seaside.
Shocker.
You know what? One of the cool things out there, I will say this, not during the event, but during regular play out there, they actually have the wicker basket flags out there. Which is really
like
cool.
that.
Yeah.
I think it's a unique thing because it's people don't like it because you can't tell wind on them, but that's the purpose of it. The whole purpose is to not give you an advantage from the flag.
Well, and they were put on a lot of seaside golf courses in the fact that the wind blew so much that the flags would bend the flag
rip
sticks
and deteriorate.
down. This doesn't. Seaside is really the views at Seaside, the golf course is absolutely amazing. There are some great vistas out there, great golf holes. It's not an overly long golf course. You can play it all the way back and it's not overly long, but it's challenging in that you've got to hit right spots on greens. It's very undulated. And I'm going to say this, it does have the best public, to me, it's the best public access locker room in the country. You walk into the locker room. You walk into a cigar lounge that is mahogany. They do have a full bartender in there. With them in there, they've got those range shower heads, those big 24-inch range shower heads when you go in the shower in there. It is unbelievable. Like that locker room is incredible.
Well, to your point there with talking locker rooms, I feel that's something that a lot of courses that are public don't put anything into.
Correct.
So that's when you do that, that's a nice touch to have.
Here's the other thing, though. You also have a stable of players that play out there. When you think, like when we were there, Matt Kuchar drove by us in a golf cart. We didn't ask him for a tip or anything. But sorry, too soon.
We're giving you a tip on your swing.
Right. But they've got a stable of players out there. That's a really good stable of players. And
Steve's response would have been, I know what I'm doing.
Probably. There's that too. But it's a really cool facility and a really cool place to be. And you know what? If you get a chance, go and do not miss. And it's literally from the golf course, 5-minute car ride. Southern Soul Barbecue, which is Davis Love's barbecue place. Man, the half chicken and brisket. I'm just gonna say, I'm a fat kid when it comes to that stuff. So I'm in. Let's go.
You are a fat kid.
I am. I'm not gonna argue that.
Oh, it's good to be back.
I think it's time for some odds.
It is.
Yeah.
So it was really funny when that was running, and we can see all of us on camera. Dave, you and I just drank in unison as we were waiting for that to end. It was kind of funny.
Well, it's just
we're off camera. You're like, oh, I'm ready to. I'm not talking.
Yeah. There's so many other directions that one could go, but yeah. It's like all of our football picks that are the same every week.
Yeah, pretty much.
So this week at RSM, Ludwig Adberg leading the charge at 12-1. Russell Henley 14-1. Brian Harmon in the field this week, 18-1.
Yeah, it's a home game.
Yeah.
And
and I'm going to post this. First, Dana, thank you for watching, but that is something that happens a lot at a lot of clubs, and it really should be equal, and I will agree with that.
I will say a lot of private clubs I feel are addressing that from what I've seen at some of the ones I've been lucky enough to play at, which is nice. But it's been a guy's game for such a long time that's been an unfortunate thing that has happened where that locker room has not been anywhere, and it's sad.
Yeah,
Dave, I need to know. I need to know where Cooch is, because that's who I'm picking to win this week.
I like Harmon this week. I do. Kuchar's a little bit farther down the list at 40-1, but not too far.
Really?
Not too far down there. Billy Horschel 40-1.
Hey, and
Camilo.
Dana, we all want a bar in the locker room. Amen to that from the tavern. So the tavern does appreciate a good bar in the locker room for everybody.
Yeah.
Everybody should have that.
Yeah.
I like a good bar outside that you can sit on a patio that's maybe not connected to the locker room. I don't really want to drink in a locker room. That's just me.
I don't want a guy walking around with a towel after getting out of the shower. And
I want to go through the locker room, like have a nice locker room. But when I want to go sit and drink, I want to sit with a patio and a nice bar.
Yeah. I just want somebody to leave a bottle of bourbon in the locker room. I can make my own.
I mean, that's fair too. Harmon's got a home game this week. He gets to sleep in his own crib.
Camilo's coming in at 60-1 right now.
Where is Ben Griffin this week? Home game for him.
I just saw Ben. He's a little bit farther down the list. He is at 65.
I know, Greg, I sent it to you, and Dave, it was too long of a video to download and send to you because it was 5 minutes.
Yeah, I wasn't going to watch it anyway.
But Ben put some stuff out there this morning on TikTok that really called out the PGA Tour and tour travel. So there was a charter flight that was set up for the players to leave on Monday out of Bermuda and fly into Jacksonville. And I've got some problems anyway, but we can get into that in a minute here really quickly. And this charter flight was scheduled. The players had to drop their luggage off at 6, be on the bus at 7, and then they were leaving at 10:30. They were on a flight at Wheels Up at 10:30. That flight didn't leave until like 3:30 in the afternoon. By the time they got to Jacksonville, and it's an hour car ride from the airport in Jacksonville up to Sea Island, by the time you get out there, it was dark. And you have some bubble issues this week in the last event of the year. You've got the top, that number 50 to 60 this week gets into the elevated events or the signature events. And then you've got that 125 number still in keeping your card in the last event of the year. And these guys are playing 2 golf courses, which means they need to get to know 2 golf courses. You have a lot of rookies and guys that haven't played much. And so now we're sitting there playing this event on a golf course where they're going to probably have to play 36 holes tomorrow, play the Pro-Am on Wednesday, because you won't know tomorrow what golf course you're playing in the Pro-Am until the pairings party on tomorrow night. So I really feel like the tour kind of, and from what Ben said, there was no representative from the PGA Tour, and the tour players had to pay for this charter flight. They were charged $800 a player, $400 a caddy, and if player family wanted to go,
they were on standby.
So kind of and here's my other problem. When we play Osprey, Oyster out on the island, and you see the jets flying into Hilton Head Airport, like one after another. Sea Island is that way in that you have literally there's like in the middle of the island right by the golf course, you see private jet after private jet after private jet. So you can't tell me that all these guys that have net jets and wheels up couldn't figure out how to get guys on planes and get them directly into Sea Island. Like Adam Scott was there. I feel like Adam Scott has his own plane. Let's be real about it.
So certain people should have like on their own, but I mean, I commend the PGA for kind of doing this, but in their idea, but I think it's terrible in their execution. Like, it looks like they were like, I have this great idea. We're going to do this charter flight for people. And I get $800 seems like an excessive amount because you could have just bought a flight for the same amount.
Well, from what Ben said, it was like flying on a Spirit plane. It wasn't like you were flying all first class seats.
But he's comparing it to, I think, a charter flight is just you get a plane. Like I have a friend who's a pilot who does charter flights. As like pilots do it as extra money. They just get it. They just their company gets it and they do it. So their airline gets it. They do that charter flight. All college teams do it. All NBA teams, NFL teams do charter flights. Like they don't do a lot of their own like plane. They have what you'll see is a plane that has their logo on the side, but it's a charter flight is what it is. So it's basically renting a plane. That's all it is. Yeah. A charter flight is just you rented a plane and now you're filling it up.
Very few teams own their own plane. I can think
of one off the top of my head. Congratulations to Justin Thomas and I don't know who his partner was this week today. Justin just hit it to like 8 feet and won on the closest to the pin for the last hole. So congratulations to him.
So, but it seems like they just kind of said, oh, we're chartering this flight and here's all the information, but then didn't set anything up, didn't make sure it was happening, didn't like, they basically were like a bad travel agent that just stole your money. That's what this looks like.
And let's be real. Do you want a bunch of PGA Tour players just sitting at an airport?
Do you want a bunch of PGA Tour players and their caddies just sitting on a plane for a few hours? Like,
right. Well, there's that too.
That should be in the Netflix documentary. Let's just talk about that.
Right. Like I hope the Netflix cameras were with them. Yeah. So, but yeah, no, I think the tour swung and missed on that one. And unfortunately, that was a big swing and miss. So I'm waiting for Shank to sit down here so we can get going here. I mean, that is the important question. We're going to get to that too.
We should just put if Duff, you're listening, I think we'll just have you come on if he doesn't show up. So if you just want to join in.
Hey, we did get a what's up from Orlando. So Zero Narrative, what's going on? Thanks for watching tonight, everybody. Appreciate you guys watching.
Yeah, we see you there, Lee.
Yeah, we're waiting on you.
And you walked back away, so okay. Keep running. That's these guests we get here from time to time.
Yeah, Lee needs his Mountain Dew.
He does. He's probably working on someone's club right now, and that's what this is.
I don't know. We've got a guy. I'm glad that's not on screen because I'm getting dizzy just watching it as he's
I know. I'm saying the same thing. But while we're waiting, I mean, I'm going to go back to the Netflix Cup here because it just ended. Yeah. But once again, it was exciting. It was fun. It was
Tony Finau on the speed golf. Yes.
Yeah.
The that was the fun first hole. Like it was you put the F1 and golf together.
Okay.
So
hey, Will.
Unique way to kind of look at it and have fun with stuff. Is Lee taking a picture of him being on our show right now? Is that what this is happening?
I think he is. Yes, I love
that's exactly what he's doing. All right. So
let's go to happy hour now with that.
I mean,
I want to be here, right?
Okay. Well, I'm just going to start with that happy hour opening scene.
Yeah,
is Dave at PI.
Yeah. And Dave, you also missed it during the Netflix Cup. They had a what's that show called that they did? Squid Games.
Squid Game. Oh, that was a good thing.
Squid Games. They had a Squid Games hole, and they had the doll from Squid Games. And if her head was looking at you, you couldn't hit. And so the guy, literally one of the F1 drivers, was like, "Do I need to be like Patrick Cantley up here?"
No, he didn't say that. Someone said you're being like Patrick Cantley.
No, he said, "Do I need to be Patrick Cantley up here and play slow?" So it was pretty entertaining.
Yeah, I didn't watch Squid Games either.
Oh, it's good.
No, I didn't either. So, well, I think it's time. Back by popular demand. Great friend of the show, great friend of ours.
Giving the people what they want.
Giving the people what they want, and by far one of the absolute best people in this business. Let's welcome back to the show, Mr. Lee from WedgeFX.
What's up?
What's up?
Sorry, I got laser going.
Okay, now you can see my screen is vertical here rather than.
It's really funny that way.
Dave, turn your tablet. Yeah, there we go.
I feel like Lee is a long-time listener, first-time caller. Is that what we're going to go with here? No, wait. Lee's been here many, many times.
Many times.
Yeah, like you guys have been here.
We've been there.
Yes,
yes. That was our first on location that we've ever done. Was on location in Lee's studio. So, but Lee, welcome.
Yeah, and there's the tavern logo on there. Lee did that night, actually.
We got all of our stuff.
We
have enough stuff to promote.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, there you go. We got our.
Yeah, I got the Dave around here somewhere. I got the Dave around here somewhere too, Lee.
That's true. I forgot about the Dave.
This one's one of my favorites with my kids' names on my stick.
Yeah.
Now we're just showing off. This is just a paid advertisement for Lee, except Lee's not paying.
Paid advertisement for WedgeFX.
Is that a left-handed wedge?
It is. We'll talk about it when we get to it.
Okay. So, all right. I like that.
Well, so
I'm going to pull up. I do have some stuff we want to talk about. So as you're talking, there may be some images on the screen here for those of you watching. We've got some images for some cool stuff that Lee has done recently.
Well, speaking of that, Lee, recently you've done clubs for Corn Ferry Tour player Eric Flores.
Yes.
So what was that like?
I've done it. I did his first set, and it was pretty cool. You know, getting to do his and do them by hand. Did them for him, and then actually, I think it's CEO of Doritos. He had his for a while, and then they had me do a second set for Doritos, so he couldn't show them until he got them. But this last set, I was able to do, and that gives you an idea. When I paint through looking through a magnifying glass and a toothpick.
Wow.
Well, and that's the art of doing this. Like, you take pride in the craft. Hold on, I got to go back to this Netflix cup again. They gave him checkered jackets. Like, that's awesome. Sorry.
Oh, and he's drinking out of it.
Of course he is.
The trophy that I feel like they put together at the last minute. Like, I feel like
I feel like they used a cricket and made that trophy. Like, they found
exactly. That's what that looks like.
It was a vase at one of the hotels in Vegas.
They should have used WedgeFX.
The Netflix. They cricketed the N on there. Is what they did. Like,
they should have used WedgeFX. I'm just saying.
They should have.
Yep.
He makes quality stuff here. So
he was over here doing his second stage. Actually, it was his first stage or second. I don't know. One of the stages for the Corn Ferry PGA Tour up in Charlotte, North Carolina, and he was getting ready to head over for his second stage for DP World Tour, and needed new grooves. So he plays sub 70 clubs. They reached out, sent me the heads. I did them up, and I was going to hand deliver to him, but he was hoping to have them built up. I don't know why he didn't have me build them up, but hey. He wanted to have them built up so he'd be able to play with them during that round up there. But went ahead and shipped him over to him.
Lee,
I like how you just blocked Lee out with Duff's comment.
Yeah.
Duff's giving lessons now. I mean, come on. Duff's giving lessons.
Yeah.
We love it.
Yeah. Plays in a couple WAGC events, and hey, now he's giving lessons.
Yes, but anyway, me and Duff, we actually drove up there, watched him play around, and let me tell you, people were upset with people leaving PGA Tour to go to live. Who cares? You know how many good damn players are out there ready to play and take their spot?
Yep.
Next guy out.
It was amazing.
People don't realize that.
Man.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
So I mean, we have your clubs here. We love your clubs. We love the artistic work that you put into these clubs. And I mean, making clubs for us is one thing, and you're probably nervous during that. But when you're handling like a professional, not off the shelf, like someone who's playing in an event that it's their livelihood, to be honest, how nervous are you with not wanting to mess up a tour players club?
Not really, because my quality is tour player quality for everybody. Even Dave.
I'm waiting for Greg to give me crap about just holding the Red Sox wedge up here.
Well,
I'm just ignoring it.
Lee, even in my mind, that works.
No, in all honesty, it doesn't matter if I'm doing, Duff's clubs, who I know is going to hit in the dirt, or a PGA Tour player is going to pick it clean.
Wow.
Just went right after your bro there.
Body slam Duff off the rock top wrist there.
Duff,
in reality, though, it's every club gets the tour experience.
Well, and that's great that you put this like tour experience and into this. And like I said, I love the work you've done. Like I gave you this putter. This putter that I got, it was I bought it from a course as it was one of their rental clubs. It's a
rock hitters.
It was dented. Like it basically looked like that smack of the week we played a few weeks ago where the child was just slamming the driver on the ground.
Yes.
And you even said when I handed it to you, you're like, I don't think I can get all these out. And you made this look brand new, like with the paint job, with everything that's on there. And that was something like that. But with yours, like the detail you put into this. So like, how do you get that across to someone? If someone's like, hey, I want to get a wedge, like how do you show that pride before you actually show them what they're going to get?
It's really hard. Because I mean, a lot of times with people, when they come, they ask, "Can you do some wedges for me?" Yeah. What do you want on it? And that's where the blank stare comes in. It's like, So you start just asking them, what kind of things do you like? What are you into? What memories do you have? And that's where it kind of stirs some creative experience in them, and then I can show them some different things that I've done, or lead them to the website. Look at the gallery and go that route. Once they get some ideas, and I'll do a digital mock-up. And that digital mock-up is actually in the format ready to laser. So it's just once they give thumbs up, what they're looking at is what they're going to get.
Well, that was the fun process I had going through this with you when I had you make some clubs for me. Was I took the template of your wedge, a blank wedge. I just said to send me a picture of that, and like I was just putting stuff on there, trying to figure out like where it is, playing with it. And basically exactly what I sent you is what you were able to do, which I found amazing, because just trying to like put stuff together.
Hey, hold on.
You don't know how stuff is laser. You found a way to take
Orlando off of that one,
put it on
that one right there, because that one's like the OG of Lee wedges right there.
That was the first black Cerakoted wedge done.
Yep.
I'm just gonna say
I don't do black no more. That was before I had the laser.
This is the wedge.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But that's the fun part about it. That's what I think. We talk about like customization and things on here, and that's what we love about this game, is that you can customize stuff and have fun with it. But like to have this personal touch, like we've all three of us have clubs that you have personalized for us, and they all have ties to our families on them. And it's amazing to have that. Like I think it's just such a cool thing that you can do that and have that impact.
I have this one of a picture of the place my wife and I got married and our names and our wedding date on it. Like, just because it's cool.
So he remembers when the anniversary date is, so he doesn't get in trouble.
Correct.
Because he looks at his golf clubs more than he looks at his wife.
Crap.
Yeah, because if anybody in this conversation is going to forget, it's going to be Steve.
That's true.
No. I also have these that Lee surprised me with for my kids. And Luke and Jackson have their own wedges, and they think that is when they opened the box when these came in, like that was one of the coolest. Like they were both on cloud 9 that they had their own golf clubs with their name on them.
Complete with
so that
LA
was
golf shafts.
Yeah, I know. My kids have LA golf shafts in their wedges. Like they're not too spoiled, are they?
That's a drink.
I like my LA golf shafts. I'm just gonna say.
Yeah, so do I.
Yeah.
So Lee, you do a lot of work for Sub 70. You got the banner there behind you. I'm wearing the hat because you did some Sub 70 clubs for me. You've done clubs for Rick Ross and Ron Harper, just to name a couple people out there. Are you working on anything for Sub 70 now?
Yes.
We're gonna segue. Oh, you know what? I didn't get that one in there. Damn it! I had the layout of it. Sorry, Lee, I missed that one.
Yeah, it's, my biggest thing I'm doing for them. I won't say what it is. Let's just say I'm painting a lot of pineapples. But it's the biggest project I've done for Sub 70, and it's for a resort. It's going to be their rental clubs and their practice area clubs. So it's going to be all Sub 70 at this resort. It's pretty awesome. But it's 120 heads.
Wow.
Yeah.
So outside of that, do you have any big projects you can talk about that you're working on right now?
Let's see. So I got a pretty cool call the other day. Senior VP of Ace Hardware. Anyone's ever heard of the Golf Channel Ace Hardware Celebrity Shootout?
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
In the past, they have had JP Golf do their wedges, which is freaking awesome wedges.
And JP, I mean, Lee and I have talked about JP. The dude does
those things are sexy.
Yeah, like that dude just does some stupid stuff.
They've had Bettinardi do it. I've been asked to do them this for next year. Basically, awesome. I was told my job is to come up with something cooler than JP and Bettinardi, and challenge accepted.
Nice.
But one thing that's kind of cool, I got some really good contacts in the other industries that not only the wedge is going to be customized to their event, so are the shafts.
Ooh.
That's cool.
Take it a little bit more, but it's an event raise money for charity networks, Miracle Charity Networks for children. It's their 100th anniversary too, so it's pretty cool. Pretty stoked. I'll be doing some mock-ups of both either the black TA3 Sub 70s and also mock-ups for my brand for WedgeFX.
So, and Lee, we know because we've been there, we've shot in your studio. You going the extra mile is just what you do, and I think if that's just commonplace, for anything that you get from WedgeFX, whether it's for me or for the tour players, the
even Dave,
even Dave. That's the time. WedgeFX goes far enough, even for Dave. But speaking of that, you have your own wedge line as well too, that we all love. I don't have one yet. You and I need to talk about that.
No, you have one.
I have one. It's right here. It's right here.
You have one.
It's been hit once. But I need to replace some in my bag. And
that's one more time than I hit mine.
Yes. And that's coming up sooner than I thought. But I've hit Steve's. And I won't hit Greg's because they're a little bit different, and I'd rather break Steve's clubs than Graves. What does that process look for someone like to get like a custom design, from start to finish?
From start is you reach out, Dave. You sent me a text. I still have the text. I need to get wedges. Yes, you do.
Yeah. Yes.
Next thing is, what do you want on them? Then I get the emoji. No, that's what it is. It kind of goes back and forth, and that's where it gets into. You have an idea what you want on them. Do you know what lofts you want? My stock lofts are 52, 56, and 60. I have them forged without the loft numbers, so you can put emblems, initials, or put the numbers on any font available. I have 150,000 fonts, so it's not all.
I have my kids' initials on the loft.
Exactly. I was waiting for you to jump in there.
Yeah,
but yeah,
he jumps.
You can make the font match the writing of whatever you're putting on the wedge as well. So it just takes it that much more customization as you want. Once I got an idea what you want, like talking with Greg about, I'll do up a mock-up with the digital rendering at actual size and have you take a look at it. We'll make changes as needed, move things around. But once that's approved, all those images are ready to laser. I just copy them, put them right into the program, and boom, done. That set there was groomsmen gifts that just went out today. Pretty cool. That was really cool.
I will say, Lee, that was the fun part of this that you don't get if I go to my favorite place on the planet, the PGA Tour Superstore. If I go there and I just buy a wedge, like you see wedges, like, oh, these are cool. You try them out, you hit them, they're nice. The fun part about the process with you is that now I can have that personal touch on there, and it's that back and forth of like, oh, hey, here's what I want to do, and then you might say, oh, this might look a little bit better, or oh, that's really cool. We're gonna do it that way. And it was that like feeling a part of the process made these wedges even more special in a sense. Like,
and that's exactly it. It puts the user into the process instead of saying this is what I like, and then a few weeks later, club shows up and they're like, that's not really what I was envisioning. So it puts the user into the process and gives them puts them, they're the co-pilot. They're running the ship too.
Yeah,
it kind of felt in a sense like almost we weren't on a tour van, but it kind of had that feel like if I was on a tour van and I was a pro and I was like, hey, I want you to dial it into this and do this, because we even talked about shaft length, grip, even down to the hosel of the like what you chose as the hosel or the ferrule. Sorry, not the hosel. The ferrule of the club. Like
the hosel's where Dave usually hits it.
I know. I was thinking hosel because
I thought I was Shank.
On the Netflix special. Someone said, "Oh, that was El Josel." Like that was that's where that was in my head. So, but that's
these wedges. These wedges, Lee, you did and hand delivered, and still owe you 1,000 thank yous for this one. I'm going to segue back to our happy hour guest last week, and Steve Miller. These were done for his scramble that we did last year. And we're absolutely done incredible for the winners of that event. So, and I think the best part was I got to play 18 holes with you and Duff that day, along with George. And George. God, that's
and
a
I got
good
closest to the pin on the first hole.
He did, yes.
I want a Groove It brush.
That's a good prize.
It is.
But throw that picture back up there real quick.
Yeah, I got you.
So one thing I do as well is my logo is not on that wedge anywhere. And when I first did the black ones, they put my logo right there on the toe. It takes up the landscape. So I had them when they were forged. I said, don't put by that time I had my laser, I can put it where I want to. Is that back of the wedge is really the customer's place. This is where you're going to show your ideas, your memories, and all that. So like on these, I put my logo on the back of the hosel, and I actually do that quite a lot because
branding.
My logo does not need to be standing out in the middle of somebody's, wedding picture or something.
Lee, you told me 90% of the club had to be your logo when we did ours. What?
Well, that was different.
No, but that was a good point. Like when you did this, that like we even talked about that. Like, hey, we want your logo. I wanted your logo on there too, and it was making sure that fit on there as well.
Yeah.
Not just being like, I don't want anyone to know where this wedge came from, because no.
And that's one thing I won't do.
It's your signature.
Not throw a wedge out. One, not customized without my logo.
So Lee, let me ask you, as we're talking about designing wedges and things like that, obviously the holidays are fast approaching. Thanksgiving is next Thursday.
I know, God.
Right. And by the way, this is a shameless plug for tomorrow night at 9 p.m. for the Golfing Dads Tavern holiday gift guide. Just shameless plug that one. But with the holidays approaching, yeah, I wonder what kind of lead do you need on if somebody wants to order a custom wedge for Christmas as a holiday gift or a set of wedges? What kind of lead time do you need right now in order to get those wedges out for somebody?
Usually per set of wedges, I like it I'll usually say 10 days, as long as the shafts aren't hard to get. You know, my stock shaft is the S400. Because I always at least have 3 on hand at all time. But usually it's 10 days.
Okay.
That's for a set of 3. Now, say like I'm in the middle of this huge project right now, which is totally cool. If I do get an order or somebody wants a wedge, I'll slide it in there because I'm not going to make them wait while I do all these. We know this is going to take a while. So I'll slide theirs in and do that. But another option, these will be on the website coming up, gift certificates for the wedge. So
now I'm going to ask Lee, you put that up there really quick, so I want to follow up on that. It said $145. Is that the price for one of your wedges? Is that what
that's the price for a wedge, fully built up and customized?
And I'm just going to point this out really quickly. If anyone walks into the PGA Tour Superstore, that's what you're going to pay for a wedge anyway. And now you get a custom one with exactly what you want. So, like, that's such a good price for a custom wedge to have one that you want. So, you know, like, I'm just trying to look at pricing on that. So,
and that was the whole thing is when I first started doing the customizing, I didn't have my brand. I was working on them a little bit, but people would want wedges. I'd go buy a retail wedge, say if they wanted a Vokey, I'd pay $160, then tack on the customization to it, and that's fine. I'll still do that. But the idea is now you can get a better wedge than Vokey, Cleveland, TaylorMade. No, you can get a better performing wedge, customized, out the door for cheaper than a stock wedge off the shelf.
Correct. I want to talk, and it's kind of a transition here, and move on to another topic. And one of the things that you do a lot, and Duff is involved with as well, is the adaptive golf stuff that you guys do out at PI. Can you talk about what you've been doing out there? Because our listeners don't understand that, don't know what you've been doing. And when I tell you the stuff that you have been doing out there is absolutely amazing. I really want you to go into that because the things that you've been doing for adaptive golf have been so good.
So it actually really started, with I'm sure Bradley's out there talking with him first and getting the idea of getting some wedges together for his event. And I was like, well, how about I just drive up there and give wedges for, do a wedge clinic type thing. I mean, I'll drive 16 hours to play golf. Bradley now knows that.
Hey, before you dealt with Brad in adaptive golf, you also did Dave's clubs, and that's kind of adaptive golf too. So,
but let me just, Lee, let me just, I'm going to shameless plug right here. If you don't follow either WedgeFX or the SDGA on Instagram to get a full understanding of what's going on, not only with WedgeFX, but a lot of the Adaptive Golf Association, like, subscribe, and follow. They're linked on our pages. Go follow all the great stuff that Lee's doing out there for adaptive golf and the Shank and Duff show as well. Shameless plug.
Yeah, then we got Duff out here. We got Duff out here, getting him involved in golfing, and I think is when I got back from Costa Rica. I think I got back Friday. I went out with him on Saturday, and just really started getting one. It's like technically I can play as an adaptive golfer, but could be 100% disabled and all that. But I still play as an able body as long as I could stand. After seeing everything I did up there with Bradley, and then out here at PI, if I can stand and walk around, I'm playing able body. But getting Duff out there, and so I went out there really to help work with Rob. But it ended up me going up and down the line, just helping people out. This wedge, as I showed earlier, sub 70, 286, left-handed, is going to a one-arm golfer. We got talking out there, and he mentioned he's got new clubs. It puts shafts on it, some oversized grips, because he's still trying to get that feel of playing with one arm. So I brought some ideas, and I said, well, I'll make you one. We'll give it a try, because he doesn't have a traditional wedge. He plays with the hybrid style T-rail type irons. But he wanted to try a traditional wedge, so I was like, I'll build you one up. We'll put an oversized grip or even a small putter grip so you can feel and you can have. And so he'll be getting that this Saturday out there. But another thing I did too is a lot of these guys, either they're getting a little bit more, what do you want to call it, rotation, flexibility, or they're losing it. So they don't know how far their stuff is. So what I started doing is down at the end of the range during the clinics, and I'll set my launch monitor up, have everything ready, and people just come up and start, using it, getting their yardages, getting what they know, getting, all that detailed stuff. One, make their game better, know what they can do, what a club can, what can't do. So start doing that. Speaking of that, heck, Duff, we did our for the adaptive golf experience here at PI, did a 5-hole scramble challenge on last Monday.
Nice.
Out at Data. It was cool. Duff ended up first place adaptive player for chipping contest. First place adaptive player for putting. So he got his first hard.
I've seen Duff chip and putt, and I want him to do chip and putt for at least chip.
I got second place putting for able body.
Nice. Now
he went out the next day for the whole veteran tournament. That scramble that I had out there was an 18-hole. It wasn't adaptive pro. It wasn't all adaptive. Heck, there might only been a few out there, but he was one of them. He won the closest to the pin of everybody.
There you go, Duff.
So in a matter of 2 days, he got 3 sets. Got his first hardware ever in golf. So it's awesome.
Now, you are one half of the Shank and Duff show, and we've talked about Shank and Duff today here on the podcast. The important question that we have is, as members of the Shank and Duff Golf Association, as all three of us are.
Goof Association.
Goof.
Yeah, I'd say it's Goof Association, Steve.
You're right. The important question we have is, how soon till we can play golf with Duff again?
Yeah, I'm telling you, when you guys play with him, he's got to give you strokes, man. So if you guys
I am down. Anybody giving me strokes, I'm down to play with.
When we first started playing our points game, it's like, all right, Duff, you got to get 5 points per 9 holes. And a point, that's fairway hit or a gur or a par.
Can I ask a question?
Graduated.
So for those who don't know, with your points game there, who is holding Duff's card currently?
He won it back yesterday.
There you go, Duff.
Yeah. Good job,
Win
Duff.
it back. There we go. That's what I was
back
sure of.
Now he has to get 14 points for 18 holes. So he's graduated. He's about ready to go 18 points, but I had 42 points. So.
Oh, wow.
He got his card back. That's all.
I don't know where that dude yesterday was playing at, but damn, I wish he'd play all the time like that.
Lee, I'll be down for the Heritage, so I want to play when I'm down next time with you guys.
Yeah.
So, Lee, let me ask you. You guys were up, and you talked about being up with Midwaga and playing in Brad's tournament, and Duff getting to play in his first adaptive tournament. And you guys got the tour sub 70 also.
That's cool.
Yeah, the question was, how was that? So
it was super awesome. We first met Jason at the Jason Highland, CEO owner of Sub 70 at their warehouse area, because I had to deliver a crap load of stuff to him, so I just drove it up there instead of paying shipping. And then just got the whole full-on tour of their building area. Talked to JB, their head builder, who did JB wedges. He designed those. But walked through the whole plant from building to where they do everything, all their inventorying. It was just cool. It was awesome spending time with Jason. We left there and went over to 70 and just sat there on the putting area and BS with Jason, talk about stories and putted with him. That's where Rob, we just got our new putters, but he sat there with the 001 770 and he just kept hitting it, making it. And I hated our new putters that we had, so I was already looking at new ones while we were there. And he's like, I can't miss. Sent a text, 2001 heads. Immediately changed.
Nice. Lee, first
cool.
up, and Lee, it's great having you back on the show tonight and talking about all this because, again, we love having you on the show. We love all of our WedgeFX stuff. I mean, my irons, you built my irons and my wedges, and I know you built Dave's irons. What's he got here? That always scares me that there's something cool coming.
Yeah.
He didn't go to the refrigerator.
Duff is getting new irons.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Well, one side of the room to the other.
We got the head side, you got the shaft side, you got the build side, laser side. That side over there is where I fall down. Kind of when we were up there at with Brad, I built a club up for Brad to try too, and he absolutely loved it. So he got both. Him and Rob both going with the TZI new Acura 85 eyes.
Nice,
gorgeous shafts. I have the same ones, but mine are 115s, stiff plus. But his irons, similar to what he had, but a little bit different design.
Oh, nice.
UMS.
Love it.
$6.99. It's a great club.
It is. Those 699s are really good.
Nice.
Oh, I like that.
Look at that. Like it.
I may know a thing about WedgeFX and 699 clubs.
I've got my 699 Pros, so. But no, so Lee, with all you've got going on social media, if someone's looking to reach out to you, where can they find you? And let's go over all of them really quick before we let you go tonight, because I know you've got a lot of pineapples to paint. So.
I'm in the corner rocking back and forth in the fetal position. He'll find me there.
Lee, we've seen your corner. There's not much room there.
This is true too. If there's a corner area, I'd have something put there to build. Info@wedgefx.com is the email. Go right on the website at wedgefx.com. First thing that'll pop up is the subscribe. I immediately get notified. There's one of the pages on there to request. Shoot out an idea what you want. I'll take that and reach back out to you and say, okay, so this is what you're talking about. Blah, go back and forth and then start the mock-up design. Instagram.
It's a great process.
Wedge_FX.
Lee, if somebody doesn't know what kind of wedge, you said you have, for your wedges, you have 52, 56, and 60 in stock. Can you help somebody decide if they only need 2? Can you help somebody decide what 2 they need, or are you going to recommend all 3?
No, Dave, with your game, it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't matter for my game.
Yeah, I mean, I'll talk.
Thank you, Greg.
We'll see what's in their bag already.
There's something behind this, Greg. So, Lee, we asked him. So, Lee, are you gonna be down in Orlando for the PGA show this year? What happens if one of us forgets this?
Oh.
No, here's what it is. I feel, because I didn't see Steve put his up tonight.
I need to find mine. I'm going to be honest with you. I think it's in my golf bag organizer.
I feel we should treat it like a challenge coin in the military.
Yeah,
absolutely. Now, along those lines, though, Steve's new one is sitting here, and it's to go in a box with a shaft.
Steve doesn't get his new one until he finds his old one.
Well, he doesn't have the right number on it. Yeah, but he's going to go down a box with a ball marker for his dad.
Yeah.
So
I'm just saying, because if anybody's going to forget it, it's going to be me.
So, I mean, really, is it that or is it the actual?
I had that in my bag, so.
Absolutely.
That is more the challenge coin or the Masters one we have too. So,
but however, the card is what you
that Masters
lose.
one. I put that down.
Yeah, I have the card
last week, and somebody was like, "What? You got a manhole cover there?"
Mine's in there. Yeah.
I do think that the card should be treated like a challenge coin, and you gotta.
Yeah, we kind of do because when Rob when Duff lost his, was it a couple weeks ago? He thought he didn't have it. Oh, I was riding him, but he found it.
Yeah. So if you're not a member of the SDGA, find that on Lee's page. You did a drawing. You did your first drawing already. You gave away some stuff from Tag Golf. We all love Tag Golf. We have a lot of their stuff as well too. And I believe you have a wedge coming up as a giveaway for the January drawing, correct?
Yes. Well, actually, the January drawing. So as we're coming up to our second drawing ever, and it's going to be the January 2024. Yes, I am. So I throw in the bag tag, which is basically like the ball marker, but 4 inches by 2.5 inches. It's a chunk of damn metal, but it's later with our logo, with your name, what you go by, and then the 3 powered by Odin, Tag Golf, and WedgeFX, and your number on it. So that gets in there. The Odin golf balls, a dozen of those, which are logoed, but then there'll be the wedge.
Oh, nice.
As well.
Nice.
So if you haven't joined that, it's a one-time fee. It's right there on Lee's page. Shameless plugs all over the place tonight, Lee.
One-time fee, $65. I mean, what you get for that is you get your sleeve of Odin golf balls, your sidekick from Tag Golf, you get your lasered tour card, your numbered ball marker, brass, and everything that comes in it is well worth the $65, let alone you are in the running for every drawing coming up. There's no additional to buy. There's nothing there. Heck, it's a great Christmas present as well.
That is a great Christmas present.
Yes.
So, well, Lee, thank you for joining us tonight. As always, it's great seeing you on here. And it's been a while, but we need to have it. It doesn't need to be a while again. So cheers.
And Lee, you were there when we got these too. So
exactly.
And this one came from there too. Nice. Lee, thank you. And definitely, if anyone's looking for a cool Christmas present, this is at the top of the list. So
real quick, another quick plug here. So Eric Flores is now playing one of these as well. Ball markers.
Nice.
So the cutout ball markers, they can be small. It's actually pretty dang small, about the size of a thumb in.
Nice.
Yeah, get learning more at the laser every day.
We're gonna need a tavern logo of those ones.
The square.
I do like the square one.
Yeah. Thank you, Lee.
Well, thanks, Lee.
Cool.
Thank you, Lee.
Always a pleasure, Lee.
See ya.
That is always fun. And Lee, if you are looking for stuff, like, this is not something, we don't promote stuff on this show. We don't get paid for anything on this show. We promote stuff that we actually believe in and we like. And I mean, we have we bought our clubs from Lee. Like, these aren't things that are given to us. And
we all paid
the
full
detail that goes
subscription
into
for
them.
Yeah. We paid for all of these.
Yeah. It's truly, if you want a wedge that is something you can kind of make your own, which you can't do with a lot of stuff. Like, you can put colors on different wedges and different drivers from places, but if you want to truly personalize it, kind of like what tour players can do, you can get that tour experience with Lee. So definitely look into those. All right, you know what time it is.
Well, smack my mama.
Hold on. Just because we've been talking with we went old school as well. We got to go both.
Giving the people what they want.
Wow. Here it is. Smack of the week.
We hit it on 3. 1, 2, 3.
I feel like we could do that. We could recreate that video with Dave at Wolf Creek.
I hate you. I really do.
I feel like we could do it though. Like I feel like
a lot of places. A lot of places.
I feel like that would happen at Wolf Creek with Dave.
Like it doesn't even need to be at Wolf Creek. It could be any course. I could hit a T marker in front of me and it would bounce back and hit.
Well, I mean, Dave, I was gonna play the video from Paris Island of someone trying to get out of a bunker.
Oh yeah. We could play that video. Good video.
Because someone hit a wall 3 times.
Yeah, at least he didn't fall over.
That happens. All right.
Like Harbor Town,
so,
it happens.
Yeah. That is 100% true. All right.
So yesterday, all of a sudden, social media came alive with...
It's that time of year. That's what this is.
That time of year, yeah.
Yeah.
7 new drivers hit the conforming list. And
9. Actually, it was 9. 9 new drivers hit the conforming list. The list went up to 9. It started at 7 in the morning. It was 9 by the end of the day.
So 9. So here's... Let's just talk. Ping, TaylorMade, PXG, and Cobra all hit the conforming list yesterday. All of a sudden, that happened, and then Rory was seen swinging the new TaylorMade driver. Interesting.
Yep.
Now, we're going to go into a conversation about drivers, about technology. The question that I have for you... And Dave's the last person we need to ask because Dave didn't upgrade his driver until he won a contest, and he was carrying the oldest driver ever. The question
it wasn't a persimmon.
It wasn't. No, it was a step above that. Though. Do you really need to upgrade your driver every year?
No.
Here's the thing, driver. I feel kind of like driver upgrades. It's just one of those. What's the new shiny toy that's out on the market that I could go spend some money on? I can't hit my driver that I won 6 out of 10 times. I'm lucky I make the fairway 4 out of 10. Why am I going to go drop $500-600 on a new driver and I can't hit the one that I currently have?
You might want to throw that up to 7 or 8 at this point.
And that's the other thing that they're getting.
I'm in Iowa. We have a lower price point.
But
so
that's the other thing. They're
getting, buy it and ship it to me? Like what?
They're getting ridiculous in the price range too. Like that's
and I already know what they're going to say.
Here's the thing: it's like Greg.
It's like longer, it's straighter. Blah 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 blah. That's all we're going to hear. That's all we're going to hear. And marketing. Correct.
Is 5 yards going to make the difference for the dads that are the people that are watching us right now? Is 5 yards going to make the difference in your game?
In our game or your game? That's a different question.
It's a general question. Is 5 yards off the tee?
You're asking a question, Dave, that I honestly think you've given even too much to in 5 yards. Like I feel like with technology now, it's 2 yards. And
considering what I went from the burner to the stealth, it was 5 yards.
I mean, but, your ball goes 10 yards further into the woods now when you went from the burner to the stealth.
I'm going to hit the same distance into the woods.
Right. So I think the problem that I have with this, and Greg, I already told you what I was going to say, so I'm going to just say it now.
Yep.
When you look at what's going to happen, and Greg, you said this earlier, we were talking before the show.
I'll say
TaylorMade is a market. I'll let you say it. All TaylorMade is going to do, and the TaylorMade proponents are going to run out and buy a new driver. And knowing that the club face is going to either crack or the face is going to fall off. The Callaway people are going to run out there and say that they got 20 more yards with this new driver because that's what they do every year. And then the PXG people are just going to scream. I don't know what about. They're just going to yell at PXG. That's all they do. PXG, PXG, yeah. PXG, PXG.
It's a really rusty voice, and I'm going to talk like that. Yeah, it's the greatest club in golf. Like that's.
I've been screaming in a closet.
But that's what this is. It's become a marketing like slot machine. Like because everybody wants the club to make them better at golf. And to be honest. So the club, it's not just the driver head, it's the shaft, it's finding like doing that. But most people aren't doing that. They're like, I need to buy a new driver because I'm not hitting this driver straight anymore.
Yeah.
That's not going to fix that.
And
if you made a driver that's going to fix that, you're going to make $1 million. You just found the cure for.
Yeah.
Like,
here's the thing. Here's the thing. You guys have hit. Both of you have hit the driver that I won, the Stealth 2, that came with a stiff shaft. That's off the market, that's they're right off the line. We put a better shaft in that same club head, and it was completely different.
Yeah,
Lee, if you're still watching, I need a different shaft. But it's not always.
Dave, we'll have a conversation at the PGA show with some people. We're going to get you a new shaft for that driver because the shaft that's in there for you is awful.
I know. That needs to happen beforehand, but it's not always the club. It's the user. And I'm going to be the first one to say it. It's not the club. It's the user.
Well, and you said something perfect. You said something perfect a few minutes ago. When you get a new club, it's I might hit it 5 yards further, but I'm just hitting it 5 yards further into the woods. Like, you're not hitting it 5 yards further down the fairway because it is the user that comes into that.
Well, but here's the thing with driver technology. With driver technology, like when you think about the things that have gone on over the last 10 years. Okay. Let's look at the last 10 years in golf. Okay. The XR driver from Callaway was freaking hot and everybody knew it. Like that thing you could just murder. And then Callaway came along with their jailbreak technology with the Epic. And the Epic jailbreak technology was a game changer. The only other thing that I can compare it to with technology advancement was the M line from TaylorMade.
The M line
specifically the M2, because the M2 was ridiculous. The original M2, not the second one, not version 2, because version 2
2016.
Right. The original M2 line was stupid. And now you look like I honestly think TaylorMade has come back to reality from that original M2 line from a distance standpoint. The original M2 line was the dumbest thing ever.
What they did, and we talked about this kind of before, is there's two things that happened here. One is we went from we went.
I think our wives all tell us the same thing,
exactly.
but
it's true. It's 100% true. No, I need the new driver. But we went from a lot of movable weight. That was the gimmick that went on for a while, which is very helpful if you know what you're doing, and the adjustable shaft. That was the big thing for a while, but that gimmick ran out, and it was like, okay, everybody has a movable weight in there. Now, the jailbreak technology was kind of, and this is a funny way to put this because it's exactly what it is, was a bridge to the next new phase, which is the phase we're in now. And it's changing the face of the driver.
Yeah.
Because TaylorMade went to a thinner face, went to a twist face. Then now they've gone to a carbon face, which is not new technology. Callaway did it years ago.
And the twist face wasn't new technology because Mizuno has been doing it all along.
Exactly. Right. Callaway also did the AI, like, to figure out where to put pressure points on the back of the face. Like, they built the face based on to give you more distance off mishits. These technological advances are good. I think they do help your driver. They do help you with certain things. But from year 1 to year 2, like, I'm going to go from the Rogue that I have now to the Paradigm, which was the last 2 that Callaway has had. I don't know what they're going to have next. I don't see much of a difference in an upgrade to the Paradigm if I already had the Rogue ST.
Because I will say I hit a Paradigm. I played with the Orlando golfer. I hit his Paradigm. He has one. That thing is crazily stupidly, like, it just knuckles. It literally just.
But here's the thing, it's not always about, and we're going to go back to the user here. There, more and more golfers are starting to understand the difference between a stock shaft that's coming out there and something like a shaft from LA Golf that's coming out. Maybe it's not just the club head that's in there. Maybe it's we need to start adjusting the customization part of it, where we need to get the shafts right for the user.
Well, and a lot of people,
but you could go into any PGA Superstore.
True.
You can go to any PGA Superstore, and that guy is going to say, "Wow, you striped that 300 yards down the middle. You really need a new driver." We've seen those commercials. As long as the old women's
question needs to be, what's your TrackMan set at that you're telling me this on?
Well,
because they tune them up.
But here's the other thing. When you go into the PGA Tour Superstore, and I'm gonna play devil's advocate here, because they actually will set you up to get the right shaft. It's that most people that just walk in there off the street don't know to ask for that.
They don't know. Right.
They just think I'm gonna grab this one off the shelf and I'm gonna go play with it tomorrow or later that afternoon.
Right.
This is why you like, subscribe, and follow.
Exactly. What you should do is go in their bays, hit it, know that when you hit it, I'm not going to hit it 300 yards in the simulator and then go hit it 300 yards on the course. That's not going to happen.
Oh, we lost Steve.
I'm going to find the feel. I'm going to find the flex. I'm going to hit it straighter. I'm going to hit it if I get that dialed in the right way. And that's the part that most people don't get. And you need to take advantage of that. Just kind of like what Lee does. The PGA Tour Superstore will help you with that too. Like your local,
but you just can't go in and hit something and say, wow, this is the next best thing, because what you swing as a shaft and what I swing as a shaft are two completely different things.
Well, and another great point to put out here is, like, with your driver, because I have the Stealth. I have a bunch of drivers because I like golf clubs and like testing them and doing different things with them. But the first sim, I have that. You have not sim, sorry, Stealth. I have the first one. You have the new Stealth, and the shaft that you got with yours and the shaft that I have with mine is, I have almost a tour level shaft in mine. There's a difference, and I use an X flex in that, but I actually use a regular flex in another shaft that I use in my Callaway driver. That's actually my main driver, but it's just because the flex point in that shaft, even though it's an X, is better for me than the stiff that you have in yours.
Yeah, and I think a lot of people need to start understanding, that it's not just, go out and buy the new latest and greatest thing, or wait 3 weeks. It's like joining a gym at the 1st of January. I'm going to get healthy and I'm going to get in shape. And, I'm going to, it's just like the How I Met Your Mother reference of, I'm going to start a bar. But it's people that join the gym, they make it about 3 weeks. It's the same thing with new drivers. You're going to see that dinged driver resale on used, whether it's at Dick's or the PGA Superstore, for $200 less than what it was when it first came out.
That's when I swoop in. I will tell people, I buy used, but I know what I'm looking for in a shaft, and I have shafts here that I'm going to switch out and make my own with it, and that's what a lot of people don't understand.
Back.
Hey, I'm back.
That's what the marketing wants you to do, is they want you to buy the stock shaft, or buy the stock, use it for a year, be like, oh, it's great up front, and then my game doesn't get any better, a new one comes out, I'm gonna trade that in and do it. Because that, I will say, is one of the best things that a lot of places do, is having that trade-in program.
But you're also playing Russian roulette with a stock shaft. I mean, let's be real.
Oh, 100%.
We've all gotten clubs, and we've all used clubs that are stamped stiff or X or whatever, and
it's not.
I had a set that I had 2 utility clubs that were sent to me from the manufacturer with what were put in as C-taper light stiff shafts. And when they were put on a flex machine at Club Champion, they came out and they flexed as ladies.
So they sent you the right shaft.
Right. Like I had 0 chance of hitting this thing. Like Lee.
Yeah, but you tried to anyway.
Lee saw me try to hit one. He's like, I've never seen a club flex like that. Literally got to the top and was going 3 different directions. And it wasn't until I put some LAs in there that it was like you could just hit bullets with them. But they, I think the problem is that you see these manufacturers that literally sit, club head comes in, they have a box of shafts, and no matter what it says on it, they just grab the shaft, put it in. That's what they do. That's all they do.
Well, and the other thing is that if from because when putting clubs together, you can change the flex of a shaft by how you cut a shaft. Like that affects the shaft. So when they're just when they're mass putting these together, they're not looking at that stuff. And that's why, I always tell people, I said, the best thing you can do for your game is get fitted for clubs.
Yep.
Actually
and
get
I
fitted.
Would start with, and I'm going to say this, I would get fit for a putter first.
So I say irons first.
No, but getting fit for a putter for me was a game changer.
But that's a difference of opinion, I'm saying. But it's getting fitted for everything. You should be fit for everything in your bag, and now that I know my specs, and I build clubs and restore clubs. That's just been a hobby of mine to do, as well. So I can go and say, hey. But the other thing that you learn through doing all of this is my specs for TaylorMade are different than my specs for Callaway. With their club head and the way this is true.
In theory, though, because of shaft bending and things like that. Yeah,
but even when I got my PXGs, when I got fitted, my fitting was a little bit different just because of how their heads are built. That's part of this that you should be. You shouldn't just go with I was fitted for this. Now I get this over here. It doesn't always work that way. But that
each
goes
club
to your point
is going to be different.
Everything's different. So just putting stuff together in mass quantity, you're not going to get that.
Yeah. That's what sets manufacturers apart is everything is going to be, they're probably using the same steel or carbon fiber compound and making the head. Everything's going to be a little bit different. And
there's only 4 manufacturers in Asia that make these things. Literally, they go over there the wall, and you're like, boom, 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 boom. That's what I want. That's what they do.
But this is when it comes down to, and we're going to talk about customization here, where you understand, for me right now, the LA shafts that I got with my sub 70 clubs were a game changer for me. Granted, sub 70 clubs were a game changer for me because I was hitting, technology that wasn't designed in the Stone Age. And this is a big thing. We just had Lee on, big thanks to Lee in helping me try and figure all that out on how these clubs need to sit. For me with, Greg, what are you at 2 degrees off center for
Not
yours?
Off center. It's
2
degrees, 2 degrees upright and
whatever. I had the 2-part right.
Inch and a quarter long.
Yeah. So, I'm, because I'm, shorter than both of you and rotund, I'm a little bit more, your average Joe when it comes to a club design. But Lee walked me through all that process on how to get there.
And that's what a good fitter will do.
And I'm going to be honest with you, for all the fitters that I've ever dealt with, Lee can literally build a set of clubs for somebody, not ever seeing them hit a golf ball, and is the best at it. I'm going to say that. He is unbelievable. And the way he builds clubs and what he can do, and I know we had him on tonight, and I will rave about Lee. Anyone that's ever played golf with us knows that we will rave about Lee because the clubs that we have in our bag are all Lee specials. They are literally one of ones that, and we've all been talking about something coming soon regarding customization, things like that, and coming soon to the tavern. But I think that there's, the idea of being able to customize your own stuff, being able to get your own cool stuff, that to me is what separates what Lee does and makes you feel, and I say you as a collective, everyone, you feel like a tour player, and that, people look at, I was playing in a scramble and my clubs all have Bagger Vance quotes on them. And literally somebody was like, man, you have the coolest clubs here. He's like, what are those? And I was like, oh, they're all back advanced quotes. And he's like, that's awesome. Like, other people don't get that. But when you have cool stuff done to your clubs, people are going to say stuff to you. And it's cool. Yeah. It's like it's being able to be fit, being able to have customization. We're big fans of it here on the show. We all love our customization stuff. It's one of the reasons with the companies that we work with and that we use, we have customization. We have a lot of it because it's what it makes us. It makes you feel like you're a tour player almost.
Yeah. Well, and that's a good thing that I think a lot of these manufacturers are doing now too. They see that, like, you can get a custom club like the Stealth. You can get in blue and all this stuff. You're paying extra for it, but it does. It has that touch. It doesn't have as much of a touch as Lee does.
We had Cleveland Strickland on a couple weeks ago and talked about the customization that they do. Yeah. Yep. I mean,
I think Lee said it right tonight, and I almost jumped in, and he said it's about the person. And we had Bradley putters on, a couple months ago, and his putters are 100% unique to every individual. And I think, from a customization standpoint, from that, shameless plug for Bradley putters there, good friend of ours.
This piece of wood that he made was hit by lightning. It's a piece of sycamore that was hit by lightning.
Yeah.
And like when you look at the way it's been split and he put the acrylic in there, like, it is cool. And they're all one of ones. There are no duplicates.
I mean, so with that, I think we're going to have more coming with the Golfing Dads and a custom thing coming. So more to come on that soon. But overall, guys, good show tonight.
Great show tonight. And hey, tomorrow night, 9 p.m., if you are looking for the holiday gift guide, this is going to be the Tavern Holiday Gift Guide. So stay tuned if you're looking for gifts for stocking stuffers, white elephant gifts for the golfer.
You just won the Powerball and need to spend some money.
You just won the Powerball, and you can do that. But stay tuned tomorrow night. Check us out tomorrow night at 9 p.m. It's going to be a different time tomorrow night at 9, and we will see you tomorrow. Hope everybody has a great week. And as we like to say, don't forget to tip your bartender. Cheers.
Cheers, y'all.
We talked about growing the game and doing some different things.
Oh, nice.
And I want to bring Craig and Talatag. You guys to talk about growing the game.